Hey everybody, it's your girl Nell, and welcome to another episode of Simply Nell's Tiny Studio. Thank you so much for hanging out with me here in the Tiny Studio today. Do not forget to share, like, and also subscribe. That is a big thing too. Hit that thumbs up button because that helps me and it helps the YouTube algorithm understand that there are Tiny Studio guests who enjoy the content here. I am drinking some tea. I think the Tiny Studio, hold on a second. Sorry about that. I think the Tiny Studio guest has made me some, I think I'm looking at the bag. I'm thinking that it's dandelion tea. And in my dandelion tea, I have a teaspoon of fire cider. And let me go ahead and taste it. I have a teaspoon of fire cider in here. What is fire cider? I have a whole video about it up on the channel, so please go ahead and check that out. This is fire cider is really good for boosting your immune system. It's also really fantastic for getting you or giving you the vitamins and the nutrients that you need to make it throughout your day. It gives you vitamin C, you have potassium, all kinds of minerals. And the most important part is that it's really great for your gut health, your digestive system, and helps to clean your vital organs such as your kidneys and your liver. If you have a gallbladder, it cleans that as well. So because it has lots of vegetables in it, like onions, garlic, ginger, turmeric, fruits such as oranges, limes, lemons, jalapeno peppers, red peppers, and I'm trying to think, is that all? I think that's it. Oh, thyme, rosemary, and I put a cinnamon stick in for flavor as well. And then you use apple cider vinegar with the mother in it. So it's a really great immune boosting potion to put into your body to do your body good. And I'm drinking my shot of the day within my dandelion tea. And you can either drink it straight or you can drink it within something, because it's really, really strong and spicy when you just drink it, to the head. And I wouldn't advise anybody to do that, because I tried it on Sunday and I was like, no, I'm not gonna I'm not gonna drink it straight. I would just drink it inside of my tea. So it's perfect inside of the tea. So how have you been doing? I hope that you've been having a fantastic week so far. I've been having a really active type of week. I went to take the Tiny Studio assistant on a job interview this afternoon. So we did that. And while we were out and about, I stopped at JoAnn's. I'm so tempted to call JoAnn Fabrics, because that's what we used to call it, JoAnn Fabrics, back in the day. When I was growing up in Detroit, there were two fabric stores that people were very loyal to. It was either Minnesota Fabrics or it was JoAnn Fabrics. And my family were loyal to Minnesota Fabrics and not JoAnn Fabrics. And so when I became an adult, my best friend, she didn't like Minnesota Fabrics. She liked JoAnn Fabrics. So she was a really great designer, and so we lived we lived at JoAnn Fabrics. And so I just happened to be at JoAnn Fabrics this afternoon, and JoAnn Fabrics is indeed closing. Can you believe that? JoAnn's is closing. And they still had a lot of yarn. For what I could see, everything was 25% off. And some things were 20% off. I just felt like the yarn was still a little bit expensive, and so were the crochet hooks and some of the books that they had. 20 to 25% off, but that really is not a deal for me. I know that since they are going through bankruptcy, they're trying to liquidate everything. But, I'm just saying 20 to 25% off is not enough for me. But what my store had, they were fully stocked with yarn as far as I could tell. And they had a lot of the big twist. They had it in the regular skeins and the extra large skeins, as well as those little petite little twist skeins. But I'm not a big twist fan, so I left it there. But I did, I saw they had a great variety of uh, big twist yarns. And then they had a lot of the Flower Power yarn by Red Heart. Yarn inspirations. I saw a lot of that. They had it in every type of color pattern or color wave possible. And I was looking at it today, and I was telling the tiny studio assistant the reason why I think it's a great idea to have that type of yarn for people who are just getting started with granny squares. But for me personally, I if you mess up on a stitch, I keep getting hair in my eye. If you mess up on a stitch or something of that nature and you don't get the stitch right, then the whole skein of yarn is going to be off. So you have to be really particular with, you have to be exacting with the Flower Power yarn, or with the yarns that's made for granny squares, that does the variation of colors on its own. Variegation, I think that's what it's called. That does it on its own without you having to stop and then stop here and then include another crochet in another color. I'm just not that person. I don't mind. I love making granny squares. I love doing granny blankets and lapgans and afghans and things of that nature. However, I'm cool with doing it the old-fashioned way. I don't need the newfangled way because I don't need any more heartaches and pain in my crochet. Okay, I like my crocheting to be peaceful. I like it to be just relaxing. I hate froggy, and I just see this yarn that's made for people who want to crochet granny squares. I just see it problematic. I just see myself frogging every 5 minutes instead of watching African Young and Famous on Netflix. I don't feel I would be able to Netflix and chill using that yarn, so I left it there. But at my JoAnn, they had every color and every color pattern. So, and what else did I see? I saw the Mandala brand of yarn is still there. It was still in stock. There was still a lot of it. And I complained about the Mandala yarn, and the reason why is because it's so expensive. When I first started really crocheting again about 8 years ago, yarn wasn't as expensive as it is today. It's like, do you go and order something from Temu or Amazon, or do you crochet it yourself? I mean, because yarn is that expensive these days. So I did pick up a couple of things though. I did do that. Now I picked up a whiteboard, which you will not be able to see right now because it's off camera. But I picked it up because I'm going to be starting to crochet tutorials here in the tiny studio. So I got a white foam board just for that, to be able to so that the background will of me the background of the craft table that I am currently seated in front of. So the background would be like really nice, and that it will present really well on camera. So I got a white foam board, and then I picked up, here's a receipt. I picked up this really, really nice yarn bowl. Isn't that pretty? Now, I believe this is what it looks like on the inside. I've been eyeing yarn balls for a very, very long time. And I've been looking for a nice size one. And I haven't been willing to pay the prices that I've seen for yarn balls, but yarn ball bowls. So this one was pretty nice. It was on sale for 20, I think it was $27. Let me look at the receipt. Yes, it was on sale for $27.99, and I received it for $20.99. So that was $7 off, at $7 off, which was 25% off. So I believe this is fine. This is good enough for me. It was a $30 bowl. I got it for $20. And here's the thing though, you know, I see a lot of things, yarn bowls. Why do I keep saying balls? Yarn bowls on Amazon or at Furrows, and they are very, you know, they can become very expensive, very, very expensive. Even on Etsy, you know, the really, really nice yarn bowls, they can run you sometimes over $100. And I really wanted a substantial yarn bowl, and this is good. I didn't want a plastic yarn bowl. I wanted one made of wood, and this is made of wood. It looks very sturdy. It is sturdy. It not only looks sturdy, but it is sturdy. This is a really good yarn bowl, and I believe it's worth $20 for me. It was worth getting. It was worth the 25% discount. So I'm happy about that. And then, as I said, I got this white foam board, and I only got 80 cents off of it. It was 20% off. It was $3.99, and I was able to get it for $3.19. So you'll see that soon when I do tutorials. I've been talking about doing crochet tutorials for a very long time, but you know, I'm really going to do this one. I'm really getting it together. And then I bought one of my favorite magazines called What Women Create. I love this magazine. The woman that publishes this magazine, she not only does What Women Create, but she has another magazine called Where Women Work. I should say Where Women Craft, Where Women Work. Women's what does I can't think of the names of it. I need to look it up. It's womencreate.com. So let me go ahead and check that out real quick, because I hate talking out of the side of my mouth and I don't know what I'm talking about. I really hate that, and I hate when people do that. So let me just look it up. Okay, and I believe it's called What Women Create. But let me go to womencreate.com. I do know that over at Barnes and Nobles, this magazine is $20. I do know that. So this was a deal all the way around. I'm trying to get to the website. Okay, there it is. Women Create. Fine. Okay, so the first one magazine is called Where Women Create. That's one. What Women Create. That's the second. And then it was another one. That is the one. Where Women Create. That's the one where they do features on different women artists' studios. And so that's where I got the idea of the tiny studio from reading Where Women Create. And then of course you have What Women Create. So these are really cool magazines to have in your library. I used to pick them up at Barnes and Nobles, but I could have sworn I was trying to or thinking about getting a subscription, because they only come out maybe every season, so that's 4 times a year. But oh look, here's a young lady who makes quilts. I follow Jean Truelove here on YouTube, and she's a quilter. She makes some really nice quilts, some very beautiful artistic quilts. Okay, here's a young lady who makes paper flowers. Isn't that interesting? And let's see what else they have in here. I want to get in bed and really go through this. I just love it so much. I love seeing other women doing the things that I absolutely love to do. It's just so inspiring. Here's a sister named Jen Duffin, and she's a weaver. Look at that. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. So inspirational. Look at the back of it, though. Look at that. Look at the yarn. Isn't that beautiful? Oh my goodness. This right here. Look at this. Wow. How beautiful is that? Look at that. It's something, you take this wheel, it looks like, and you just let your imagination flow with all of these different yarns, just come up with different patterns and whatnot. That is so pretty. So that's what I picked up. This was on sale for, and I really might just go ahead and subscribe, because I really love this magazine. And whenever I'm at Barnes and Noble, I'm, picking up a copy. Let me see. Okay, yes, it's $17.99, but it's one issue that there's one issue that costs about $20. And I don't know. But anyhow, I got 20% off on that magazine, and so this magazine cost me $14.39. So with 20% off, that was $3.60 that I was able to keep for myself. So that's what I purchased at JoAnn's today. I talked to one of the sales representatives, customer support there, and she was the one that helped me with the whiteboard. And she told me that JoAnn's is definitely closing. And I asked her, did she know when there would be another price drop on yarn? And she said she didn't know. She told me to keep checking. And so since JoAnn's is right around the corner from my home, I don't mind checking once a week to see what's going on. I don't mind doing it. So thank you so much for hanging out for this very brief video today here in the tiny studio. And head on over to your JoAnn Fabrics and see what they have there. My JoAnn's was fully stocked with yarn. I didn't pick up any. To be honest with you, I'm really not a JoAnn's fan when it comes to picking up yarn. I'm really not. I'm really don't tell anybody, but I'm really a Hobby Lobby person. Hobby Lobby, and in my world, it goes a little something like this. The stores that I really hate to get yarn from, the top three are: number one is Walmart, number two is JoAnn, and number three is Michael's. I really don't like getting yarn from those three places. I love getting yarn from Hobby Lobby because I just love their yarn. But lately I've been having a crisis of conscience, if you want to say it, and I've had some benevolent feelings towards Hobby Lobby for a while. And so I'm just going to start looking for alternate sources to pick up my yarn, maybe from different sources overseas. There is a yarn that I really like called Ice Yarn, and there's another yarn called I'm thinking Schweppes. I see a YouTuber by the name of Heather over at HDC Crochet, and she used a lot of Schweppes yarn for her granny squares. So I'm probably going to have to go online and start thinking about being international, with being more intentional about where I buy my yarn. Unfortunately, Hobby Lobby is not going to be a viable source for me to shop at. And I feel that with the way the prices are going up so much on yarn that it's just, it's becoming problematic. But you have to be a true crafter to, I don't want to say a true crafter, but it's like I really love to crochet. That's my thing. And um I'm just gonna have to bite the big one and just spend the extra money to be able to do the thing that I love the most, which is crocheting. Um, Sometimes being a crafter can be a very, very expensive and lonely a lonely place to be. But if when something's your passion, what can you do? While I was at JoAnn, also I saw that the bead aisle was fully stocked as well. But I was so much more interested in getting a board for my crafting table than actually looking at the beads and things. But I am sure that the next time they go down, and I will be checking when they get to the point where they're marking down the B section by 50% or 50% off, then I most definitely will be in JoAnn with my basket. uh, just scraping down the shelves for beads and the things that I need for jewelry making. So we'll see how that goes. But thank you so much for watching today's episode of Simply Nails Tiny Studio. I will see you a little later on. I think this is going to be like a two-parter. I think I'm going to film another episode for tomorrow as well, but I just wanted to get in here and talk about JoAnn. I'll talk to you later though. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Also, please think about becoming a member of the Tiny Studio Members Only Lounge. That's where we hang out at, and I talk about a lot of things that I really don't get a chance to talk about or don't really want to talk about here publicly. You need to hang out with me in the Tiny Studio Members Only Lounge, and that's where I talk about a lot of other different things. All right, so I will see you next time. Please do not hesitate to like, subscribe, and I will see you later. I'm your girl, Nell. Bye-bye.